Can a community be wealthy if it's not first healthy? Or do you need to first be healthy in order to be wealthy? Which comes first? Kind of reminds me of a story that a Karuk elder told me once about clean water and salamanders. Modern science indicates that the water has to be clean in order for salamanders to be present. The Karuk elder said it's the other way around, and you need salamanders because they are the cleaners of the water, and it's their job to keep the water clean.
Most people's main focus is downstream. It's pulling those people out of the water. But what's happening up the river? Why is this happening in the first place? And let's fix that problem so that it's not this giant problem down the stream.
Our region is honestly a diamond. There's things here that you cannot find or do anywhere else. But what makes that a place you want to go to, a place you want to stay or come back to, are the people.
The most important resource that a business has, it's their humans. It's the people that come and they give of their time and their talents and their energy.
If you're going to do an infrastructure project, how will this address some of the things that are part of our cultural challenges? Can you show us that this is going to lift somebody up out of poverty? Can you show us that this project somehow will address things like racial inequality? We would have thought years ago, well, those don't have anything to do with infrastructure, but they do. We're actually beginning with the people instead of with the project.
Why is this so important, this work of addressing the social determinants of health and economic development? From those earliest ages on, negative health impacts create these unequal starts to life and then further hold back those opportunities for healthy living and healthy growth.
It's all linked in such a way that when individuals are struggling, the companies they work for are going to struggle, as well as the industries that those companies are in, and then the region. It's all connected in such an important way. We need both health and wealth for either one of them to really be what the community needs them to be.
When people are healthy, when an economy is healthy, not only are businesses improving, but other areas are improving. When it's, let's come together, let's work together, let's figure this out, the wisdom is in the walls and the people around us. Like my dad has said many times through my life, a problem's only an opportunity for success.
How does a community come together to define the environment of that community, to set up an environment where that healthy choice is easier?
We need to start working on preventing adverse childhood experiences in our community. Instead of a liquor store selling cigarettes at every corner, I'm gonna have a yoga studio at every corner.
A lot of times when retailers make changes to take the vape and flavored vape and the cigarettes away from eye level for the teenagers or make people ask for it, it's actually good business because you get a good reputation in the community.
How do we look at policy in the communities and make our communities more walkable and bikeable, make it easier for us to move?
They find a really clear correlation between a community's proximity to parks and neighborhood parks and playgrounds and the overall health of that community.
We want those healthy opportunities and those healthy places to go and parks and cool things to do.
If you look at the most prosperous communities, they are thriving with things to do in the outdoor environment. It's become really evident the value of parks and trails in increasing property value and making commercial businesses more viable.
To be able to make decisions that improve the well-being of not only us as individuals, but our communities as a whole.
Really tying together these economic pieces of access to address these social issues in a bigger way that creates lasting change. So every child gets to have healthy food, healthy air, safe water. And opening up these opportunities actually changes someone's physical health from the earliest years through the end of life.
If we just change that very ground floor foundation that we all step on every single day when we walk out the door, the idea should be I walk out my door and I say, I love this place, not open the door and say, it's still the same.
what we're creating, trying to deal with it downstream and intervening later, is creating a tremendous amount of energy for individuals, for our community together, that we could have stopped with a lot more smarts upstream.
The community has no idea. I think they raised me. It's that mentality, and it's that type of pride living here, having those jobs, because you're caring about the people that raised you. It's having that whole family type dynamic as your government. They're part of your family.
We have so much innovation and creativity in our communities that are untapped to create economic vitality in a way that doesn't feed addiction, but creates recovery and opportunities.
What do you desire for your children, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren? What world do you want them to grow up in? Those are the discussions that we need to have, and we need to do it together.
We can recreate our systems. We can find solutions that bring people together.
We're seeing community come together, we're seeing resilience, and that's what makes communities more healthy. That's what makes communities more great. When we can show children, look how we come together in times of crisis. Look how we stand together when we're hungry. Look how we stand together when our senior community needs something. The way that the community here really shows their greatness is through resilience and how strong we are for one another on the behalf of one another and how we show up for one another.